Our next speaker, Darrell Hulin, regarding opposition of slaughterhouse/meat processing facility in the industrial park. Let us have your name and address, sir, and you have 5 minutes to address the council, and he's still the timekeeper.
Good to see you again.
It's nice to see you.
My name is Darrell Hulin. I reside at 7696 Patterson Road, Beaumont, Texas, 77705. That's out in the Fournette area. My wife and I beauty salon in the Port Acres area, and also our son still lives there. We were born and raised Puerto Christianers. We were married at Little Flower in Port Acres. We've been together 39 years. If I may approach, and I have a handout for council.
Would you just give it to them and they'll pass it down? Thank you. You can continue, sir.
Okay. With 40 years of meat industry-related work experience, I consider myself a subject matter expert on the subject. I'm here to clarify some misinformation put out about the proposed slaughterhouse in the Port Acres area. Only a slaughterhouse kills animals. A meat processing facility then processes the. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Riceland Farms humanely. Slicing their throats open for them to bleed out is absolutely the most inhumane way to take their lives. It's an ugly sight to watch an animal struggling to breathe for several minutes while its blood and life are literally drained from its body. State-of-the-art odor control is somewhat laughable. Trailer after trailer filled with urine and feces can be odor-free. It's simply impossible. E. coli, you betcha. That's politically correct terminology for excrement. Or the government agencies that Riceland Farms speak of cannot regulate an animal's urinary and bowel movements. The government is more at creating BS than it is at stopping it. Cram 1,000 head into the holding pens, and the stench is horrendous. You're a highly regulated oil industry, and guess what? It smells, just like a slaughterhouse smells. So the all-wise government creates as odor threshold limits. This essentially says, yes, we know the process will create odors, so we will limit the severe smell. All slaughterhouses smell, and Riceland's Farms will too. They will just be required to keep the level below the established threshold limit. If you think an on-site USDA inspector will control odors, guess again. His only job is to ensure health, that the meat product is sanitary and disease-free. That's it. Air and water quality is EPA respond to complaints filed against the company. If air measurements come in under that threshold limit, remember, business will smell. The amount of animal fats entering the wastewater system will plug piping, other equipment, and gauges. Animal fat is present in every phase of meat processing. That is lard. Can anyone say Crisco? That is what will plug the city equipment and create a maintenance nightmare for the city. Meat operations are Roto-Rooter's favorite customer. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics reports slaughterhouse workers is less than $13 an hour. These are not the six-figure jobs of the oil industry. Nasty, cold, long hours for little pay. Typically, people that working there are taken advantage of in all the worst ways. Riceland stated that it will bring in workers from out of state. What's to ensure they will hire local? HB1 visa workers will be brought in. Many of the meat companies up north have been fined for illegal immigrants found working there. Now there's a saying, follow the money. That approaches multiple communities asking for zoning changes, tax abatements, job grants, pounds of water per shift to send to an overtaxed waste system, roads, infrastructures. Sounds great if you're the recipient of all these incentives. All these freebies, so let's ignore the fact that the very citizens of the community that is paying will be affected by that. With that, I can guarantee if this business were being proposed near Nick Lampson or Carl Parker's.
Mr. Hulin, if you don't mind, please do not call out any names.
Yes, ma'am.
Your time is up,
I'm
but
sorry.
again, don't refer to anyone by name if
Okay.
you don't mind. Thank you.
Mayor.
I haven't been speaking 5 minutes.
Mayor.
I haven't been speaking 5 minutes. I haven't been speaking 5 minutes. I apologize, but I haven't been speaking for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. We got
Did you start when I
Yes,
started then?
yes, sir.
I have a very short statement. Could I finish, please?
How short is your statement, sir? Because we've got
One paragraph.
one. That's it.
Everyone has heard the phrase NIMBY, not in my backyard. These same citizens here tonight use this incinerator was proposed years ago. They ended up out on Highway 73 miles away from homes near the city dump. I suggest that Rice Land Farms purchase some rice land out there for their business. There are no homes for miles. Let Rice Land Farms pay for the infrastructure necessary for it to build their wonderful state-of-the-art facility. After all, a Rice Land Farms investor told Winnie that he didn't need their investors because they had plenty of money. In closing, I would like to ask the council to look at the citizens, taxpayers, and voter in the chambers tonight and live in their tight, free from the business will certainly create. I thank the council for its common sense approach to this matter, and may God bless you. Decision to exclude a slaughterhouse meat processing facility from the Jade Avenue Business Park.
We will go to excuse me, I'm sorry, but we've got a council meeting going. I'm sorry. I love you all, but this is a council